Hi, sir.
Hi. Any
Um,
question? Yes.
I want some clarification on the political methodology.
Okay.
The part where you mentioned about how qualitative and quantitative.
Okay. All right.
I don't know what qualitative actually means,
Oh,
and
okay.
also I just want to clarify things. So meaning if that you use positive research, meaning you are doing your research outside and just like from outside, and if
Mm-hmm.
normative, it means that you're in the system. Is it like
Yes.
that?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
The thing is that in order for us to conduct our study, political and the law, so what we need to do is to have a standpoint. If you have this knowledge of a standpoint that I'm a positivist, therefore I don't want to meddle with the things that I'm learning, just getting to know them and from an outsider, then you will be doing the standpoint of positivist, meaning you just state the thing as it is. Uh, with that, you can also what do you call it, make a change later on of your understanding. Being normative, meaning you have to go down to the ground and be involved with the thing. Yeah. So kita ni sekarang ni we are on the positivist mode. Yeah, we are looking from outside rather than we are going inside. So going inside is that we conduct what do you call it, research that is trying to understand further. Yeah, because kita tengok daripada luar ni, kita based on theory, based on other people's ideas, and looking into politics. So that is what we are doing. Normative is towards a deeper understanding. Okay, so if you want to do that, yes, you can do it. If you have to dwell into the discussion. Yeah, so you dwell into the discussion because A might say X, B might say Y. So we compare and contrast. When we compare and contrast, then we will see the what they call it, the differences, and we become more analytical lah. Yeah, more analytical. Doesn't mean that positivists are not analytical. Nanti you belajar juris lah kot. Juris 1, you akan be introduced to positivist and normative. Actually, normative ni dia based on natural law. Yeah. Positivist is based on positivist. Okay. Any question on that? Good question.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Anyone who wants to add and ask about this slide? Ada ke tak? Jangan malu, jangan segan we are trying to understand the situation before we go in depth of the discussion. Any slides other than that?
I think my question
Yeah, Cynthia.
not
Yeah, good.
not for this one. The
The next,
political
this one.
What's the last video that you showed us? Yeah,
The
this
legal,
one.
legal and political system. Yes,
Legal
right.
and political system. I want to ask about the supranational political system. I don't really get what it meant. Is it like an alliance? Kita nak buat satu dari negara-negara macam tu ke? I don't get what it really meant by this one.
So European Union is my example to you. The sovereign countries, and then they join up together. When they join up together, they form this union, yeah, for European Union. Okay.
Can it be like Asian country, like our country with Indonesia? Is it like that?
No, it's not ASEAN. ASEAN is just a membership alliance. ASEAN is just you gang up together. you know, to do some kind of transaction, some types of activities. Say, for example, you want to have a stronger voice in the world arena, right? Business arena. So you say we as ASEAN, we agree to have an understanding. Yeah. And the most important thing about ASEAN is that ZOFAN. Remember ZOFAN, zone of uh, free from what they call it, arms conflict.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So that is ASEAN. But when it comes to European Union, it's a union. It's they have one what they call it, European Union Parliament, where every country send in their representative inside the parliament, and they have a leader there. Boleh?
Yeah, yeah, yep. So it's like I don't know how to actually like put it into words. Dia macam ada country sendiri, but the political system is one. Is it like that? So it's like that. Just that dia that lain-lain country macam tu, lain-lain nation je lah.
Yeah, but this like Malaysia, we are a union of states, right? Persekutuan, right? So it's just a state. It's not a sovereign country. This we are talking about sovereign countries joining up together.
Oh, okay.
So Malaysia is different, whereby they do have some kind of understanding, a pact that they sign, and they want to stay together. But this is similar, but it goes beyond that. Everyone send in their army in order for them to protect each other.
Oh, okay, understand. Okay.
So everyone contributes certain GDP of their income in order for the union's goals to be met.
Oh, okay,
So
understand.
that is why England is going out
Yeah.
from Brexit, right? Brexit.
Yeah.
They don't want their sovereignty is to be to be handled by somebody else, because decision is being made by the European Union Parliament.
But then they have a queen. So like, does the queen become a person under that parliament system, the supranational political system?
That is why it is unique. But as far as law is concerned, Queen doesn't play a role at all, right? Just like our Yang di-Pertuan Agong. However, we are talking about sovereignty of the state. It's like, the law of the state is being bound by another law. So Britain is common law, right? But European Union is more civil law. So they have created a civil law, meaning a documented, what they call it, laws, being passed by the Parliament, EU Parliament, and therefore that law applies and have jurisdiction over Britain and every other country, the member states.
Oh, okay. Understand, sir. Yeah. Thank you,
Right.
sir.
Welcome. 27 member state, EU. Right. Questions other than that? Right. Sir? Yes.
I have a question.
Okay.
Good.
Then we'll go. Fine.
Hello, sir. Can
Yeah.
you hear?
Yes.
Apa? Kan ASEAN dah ada macam menuju ke arah free trade agreement lah and so on. Jadi ada ke prospek untuk ASEAN ni untuk dia unionkan politik dia, sebab prospek economical union tu dah nampak. Jadi prospek political union tu mungkin nampak ke?
Susah sikit sebab kita punya background memang boleh, tapi we have to compromise a lot. Kita dalam Malaysia pun unstable because we do have a division of multi-racial, multi-ethnic, multi-religious, and then we have Indonesia with the diversity of land, and then Philippines, and then we have Myanmar, we have Cambodia. Vietnam. So I think we can, but I think that there is a lot of things that needs to be done. Because language wise kita dah memang beza dengan orang lain. Okay, over in Europe they have like several languages that you have to. You have French, you have English, you have German, you know, you have Swedish. But yes, they do have diversity over there. Tapi kita susah sikit kot sebab they are more matured as compared to us. Okay, even that pun they are dah ada letak, you know, letak in the sense that the second largest contributor, which is England, is going out. Then the only person that is left that is holding on to the group is German, because German is number one. So every other country is like protecting themselves, you know. I don't know whether I answered you satisfactorily or not. Okay tak jawapan saya? Macam mana? Ada idea? Anyone?
Macam mana tadi saya tak jelas?
You punya soalan tadi macam mana? I dah lupa dah.
Apa ASEAN kan ada nampak
okay.
free trade agreement and so on.
Okay. So ASEAN, as far as ASEAN, we are okay. We can in a 20 years time, we can come up to that level. But the sense of maturity of the country, you know, maturity of the country is not there dalam ASEAN. Members ni dia tak mature lagi. So bila tak mature, how are you to stand together and cooperate with one another? Yes, there are cooperation that is going on. Tapi kalau kita tengok, say for example, can you buy things from Indonesia? You can buy things from China easily. You masuk dalam AliExpress, you pergi ke apa lagi yang ada, Shopee, you know. Those are China punya operated apps. So, can you buy from Indonesia? Can you buy from Philippines? I tried to buy some things from Indonesia and Philippines. It's so difficult. Then yet we are ASEAN, you know. The maturity is not there because everyone is protective. Because when it comes to our boundaries, our territory, so we are fighting with one another. We go into quarrel with Indonesia, Sipadan. You know, we went to World Court in order to get Sipadan. Singapore went to World Court in order to win Pulau Batu Putih. You know, then we have EEZ argument between us and Thailand and Cambodia and Vietnam in South China Sea. You know, quite difficult, quite difficult. We have to be mature in order for us to like stand together. It can happen, not to say that it cannot happen. It can happen. It's just a matter of time. Once we are all matured, then we might be going ahead. The other thing that can happen is that the pressure from other caucuses, meaning other groups, caucuses or EU, say for example, EU is very powerful, and they can impose certain restriction in terms of their ideology, their political views and things like that, right? But yeah, we have to wait and see lah, more or less, yeah. The political will is not there yet. That is my statement.
Alright, thank you, sir.
Yeah, all right, good.
Sir, does this have to do with the political history? Do you think it has to do with political history because of our maturity?
Very much, because you see, Thailand and Philippines, they are being influenced by America in terms of the way their lifestyle, you know, how they run the country. You know, Thailand they were not colonized, but they were influenced by America. Malaysia, British. Indonesia, we have like Dutch, right? So the system that we are applying is slightly different from one another. So it's quite difficult. Unless compared to Europe, they have civil law, Roman law. Yeah, they apply Roman law, and everyone is, you know, getting used to the system of. They have slightly different from one place to another, obviously, but generally we can say that they uphold the legal system of civil system as compared to us. We have civil system in Indonesia. We have common law, Malaysia. You know, we have Thailand, and it's a mix. You know, so slightly different. We have Vietnam communist, and then we have a communist country to join us when we were ASEAN was first formed because we want to fight communism.
True,
Uh,
sir.
so
I
that's
think it's quite hard then to achieve the European Union level because we have different
yeah.
constitutional law. Yeah.
Yeah. The system that we apply and the political will is not matured yet. When the
True.
political will is matured, then we can change the law. We
Mm.
can adopt. Yeah, we can meet somewhere. You know, meet somewhere. Every representative willing to surrender their sovereignty. This is surrendering your sovereignty. You know, that is another thing. So that is
Mm.
why we see clearly that Britain wants to come out from the group.
Okay, sir. Understand?
Okay, so
Yes.
soalan. Yes, good. Thank you for the questions.
So I have a
Yes,
question. I
good.
mean,
Siapa
uh,
tu?
I intend. I
Intan,
mean,
ya, Intan. Okay.
I understand about the EU and also the ASEAN perspective, but I don't understand why
Mm-hmm.
UN is included in the supranational political system because we all around the world we literally have a different political system.
Yes. You said about UN.
Yeah, UN, United Nations, because
Aha.
cakap tadi United Nations is one of the example, right?
Yeah.
So
No,
I
EU.
oh not United Nations
Here you can see the slide. EU, right? The question was from Cynthia asking about political system when it comes to supranational political system, meaning EU, not UN. UN is just a gathering of all nations, yeah, to have a common statement. Common statement. Say, for example, the Paris Agreement on environmental, how to move forward in terms of to control the environment, kan? So, jadi at that point of time, every member of the country represented agree, and then they sign, and then they want to adopt into their own laws. So anything that we sign, you learn international law yet?
Not
Have you
yet.
learned? Not yet. Kalau you learn international law, so anything that we agree, internationally, it will not have this binding element. It's just a convention. Yeah. So you agree to follow, but you must adopt into your own laws. Meaning somebody from the United Nations that we send come back and then go to the parliament and say that there is a agreement by the government of Malaysia with United Nations under this convention. Therefore, can we adopt it? The United Nations cannot force us to adopt any law. We are the one that have to willingly accept. So, like the United Nations Declaration of Human Rights, that document is not 100% adopted in Malaysia. Because if you're talking about fundamental rights dengan fundamental liberties, it's two different things. Right. There's two different things about fundamental rights and fundamental liberties. Liberties can be taken away. It's not a right. You know? Soalan.
Sir, as far as what do you mean by political maturity?
Our countries are not stable yet. You see Indonesia, you see Thailand, you see Malaysia. Obviously, Philippines having their own problem, with what was his name? Alah, lupa lah pula. I can picture him. Siapa the president of Philippines?
Duterte.
Tote.
Duterte.
So he is a person that is trying to settle their problem. Internal problem. There are so many internal problems that we are facing. As compared to the European country, they more or less settle their internal problem, but they want to move forward, and they cannot move forward on their own, so they have to stand together. And standing together, they realize that it is much better. For us, we have people a power struggle that is going on in each countries that of ASEAN. It's too bad. That is the maturity of political system that we are not achieving yet. Once we able to achieve that, then we can talk. Like Singapore, obviously, they want to move forward, but they cannot move forward because countries that is their neighbor is like 5 to 10 years behind. Okay, when you are 10 years behind, it's very difficult for you to start discuss. Even Malaysia and Singapore, we go into quarrel obviously about the train spaces and things like that. The train, the Malaysian land in Singapore. Any questions, please? Understood, Azfar. Okay, Alhamdulillah. Questions? You can put it there in the political mature. Right. So political maturity is whereby every member of the society understand and able to control the government. Yeah, and this is something that is not, because we don't know a lot about politics. This is what Habermas was saying, that we are distant off from the political spheres. Jadi kita tak peduli what happened to the politics. Kalau kita tengok ni nak berkelahi, nak memerintah, this guy aduh pening. Some people are just like, I don't care, I just need money, I need to survive, I might be terminated soon, I have debt to pay, kids to eat, my wife to support. All these kind of things are in the minds of our citizens. So citizen doesn't want to care much about what is happening in the political spheres. So jadi orang politik ni pula trying to distance themselves by saying that we have the every knowledge of how to run the country, therefore you shut up, more or less. But now kita dah semakin terbuka our mind. Like 10 years ago, without the mass media or the ability to utilize internet, we were way out of the discussion. We are way out of the thing of political nature. But now everyone is having a say. You can kutuk Muhyiddin, right in the Facebook if you want to, because they know that that if they don't cater for the society, and the society will not support them. If you have the time, I would pass you to or check it out, Jürgen Habermas. This is his theory of communication. Theory of communication. So he says that this is political theory lah. The political theory says that the problem of the society is that they are distant from the political spheres. However, in order to legitimize the ruling, the government should be able to communicate more with the society in order for them to have that link. This is where you see every day COVID from the Minister of Health is, kadang-kadang Muhyiddin comes into the picture and then give you some briefing and things like that. That is the method that Habermas is saying that must be conducted by government. If they don't have that communication, people are disarray, jadi pening, kita tak tahu what is happening to the country. So by not communicating is a bad thing for a politician. So now dulu they can play a game that you don't know anything. We are the politician. We know what is best, what policy to come out. Those kind of things. But nowadays, because all of us are more aware, because we are more intelligent, we are able to discuss things more freely, because the system that we have, the system that we have is the one that we are to maintain lah. Boleh?
Boleh, sir.
Lagi soalan? Good. Tanya. Ada banyak philosophers yang on theory, like what I said, Habermas, and then we have Marx, we have who else? Let me see. Hobbes, Hobbes, and then we have what? John Rawls. Okay, we have John Rawls. Who else? So those are some of the example of people that come up with theories, and that particular theory is important for us to understand. However, we are not here to go and dwell ourselves to the theory per se. We have to more or less understand overall what is happening. So maybe later, one of the area we will go into the theoretical part. But now, for you to be able to understand the relationship between politics and law. So chapter 1, topic 1 is about definition of law and politics, the relationship. Second is about how it is being applied. Topic 1 is about what, Topic 2 is about how it is being applied, and then we have to realize the relationship, how it is being applied when it comes to political system that is being adopted. Then we have all this supranational, then we have empires, we have chiefdom, we have tribe and so on. Understanding this is important for us to move forward, because once we have this knowledge, then the one that we are going to learn later on is much easier for us to understand. Okay, I'm doing this in a way that I want all to have a good foundation before we go into that. Soalan? Nurhanan ada problem internet. Any questions that you want to ask? Yes.
Sir, moment. I have a question on sovereignty.
Yeah.
Sovereignty. What happens if a country does the sovereignty of a country like disappears when it encounters like war? For example, Afghan, right?
Yeah.
So
Okay.
Kamala's and Joe's manifesto yesterday, and said that if they won this election, they would withdraw troops from Afghan. So the fact that they can do that, despite having NATO being involved in this whole war, the fact that they can do that, it shows that Afghan doesn't really have a say, and like where is the sovereignty at that point? Like the fact they can do whatever they want, exactly. So,
yeah, this is where you put puppet government. You people in power, say for example here, it is a fight between superpower nations, superpower nations, America, Russia, China. So they are trying to push people around. Why they want to push people around? Because they want to have control, and control means money. Because empire is like that. Empire is trying to uh, expand in a way that you are influencing other societies. That was then. But now it is to influence the sovereign state, whereby you create wars in order for you to get money. Yeah, war is actually money. You go into war because you want to develop the rights to develop the country after it was torn down. Okay, so your people, the meaning the citizens that is doing development, can come into that country and develop it back again. So that is a big amount of money. And then obviously you are able to control the land in terms of their natural resources. The country that is rich in oil, minerals. Afghanistan is very rich in that manner, yeah, in terms of minerals. But uh, Middle East, obviously, oil. That is, if you are able to control the countries by putting your group of people, then it is easy for you to manipulate the country. It's just like we were once in Semenanjung, right? We have the residents, yeah, English residents. They don't put their residents per se in the running of the country, but they put people that have the mindset that they are able to control. So that is the politic game that they are doing. Actually, memang kotor lah kita tengok kan. But that is life. If you're in control, chances are that you are going to do that to society. We have what they call it in Africa. We have a few countries that is considered as a failed state. If you Google failed state, failed state, you see, if I'm not mistaken, Zimbabwe. No, I might be mistaken. You check it out. Yeah. Then we have like what they call it, Yemen. Yeah, Yemen. In the process of going to a failed state, where warlords, yeah, they go back to tribal. So you are with your tribe, I'm with my tribe. We fight. There is no sovereignty of the state. So the government is no longer there. So when government is no longer there, there is a vacuum. Yeah. So that vacuum has to be filled, meaning power struggle will be there, and therefore the political ideology is being put. So we see ISIS, yeah. So the government is unable to control that what they call it, Iraq, yeah? Iraq, uh, the Iraq, Syria. Yeah? So Syria and Iraq, the places are not being able to have a good government, a strong government, because the political will is not there, because society doesn't want to support. Now it being controlled by groups. We have ISIS, we have more than one, yeah, that is controlling. Then that is also a fight between the Sunni and Shia group, you know. Okay. Uh, I don't know whether you are able to get what I'm trying to say here.
Yes, I get it perfectly.
Oh, okay, good.
So, is it safe to say that when, the countries are not, these countries which is not like safe in nature, we can say that they have no sovereignty over their own state.
Yes.
Or
So, in order for you to have sovereignty, your political stability is the most important thing. If your politics are not stable, then therefore the legal framework cannot happen.
okay,
Okay. Here, remember the fight that I showed you about you know, the ability to control, right? The fight between law and so
yes,
if the person that you can see here, the politician in parliament is not stable, you cannot have parliament. Then therefore, how can you implement the law? Obviously you have the judiciary in order for them to help out, but running the country is all about legislative rather than judiciary. Judiciary is just to help out the problem. They are not the solution. They are not meant to be like that. They are not meant to control or run the country. The one that is to control the country is the politician, meaning those who are in the parliament. That's it. Yeah. For example, our budget, right? So budget has to be approved by representative in parliament, not the judges. Obviously, the judges can come in if you have any problem, bickering between berkelahi, they can always bring to the court. Like what Muhyiddin the other day went to Agong and asking for emergency, right? So when Agong did not give, if he is not happy, then he can bring Agong to court, to decide whether Agong can do what he did, which is rejecting his claim that there is a need for emergency. So that would be under constitutional law argument. But that's it. That is the function of judiciary. So political is more powerful, because they need that power in order for them to run the country. Soalan? Good. Good questions, coming in. Thank you. I was hoping that you can clarify a lot of things that doubt that you have in your mind.
And so one last thing.
No, it's okay. Not one last thing. You can ask question, because since others are not asking, so they might be hoping or hoping that your question is able to make them understand. All right. Yes.
Yeah.
Proceed.
There's this one slide you talked about tribes, right? On the
Uh-huh.
modern law. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've read somewhere I don't remember, but India has has an article on on to acknowledge tribes in India, because like there's a lot of tribes in India, right?
True.
So do you to the reason why they insert that article is to acknowledge the fact that these tribes are Indian people and they have some degree be subjected to the national legislation.
Mm-hmm.
But however, these tribes are not being supported by the government at all. So they have their own markets, they have their own like civilization, because they live in like this really secluded areas. So do you think that the government is acting arbitrarily towards this tribe society, to the fact that they have their own you know political system and stuff like that, but I, for me, I think it's a bit arbitrary for the government to regulate them when in fact the government is not really helping them in a sense.
Yeah.
I've watched a
Yeah.
documentary also about how these people are living.
Yeah.
They live in
True.
this really secluded place. The government is not there, and
Mm.
but they are regulating these people. So what do you
Yeah.
think of that?
This is the power struggle that I'm talking, because you want to be able to control them. By controlling them, what means that you use in order for you to control them? In this situation, by law. So you can force the law down the throat of people throat, but whether they are able to accept it or I mean uh, muntahkan balik, right? So they are not going to accept it. And just because you have laws, say for example, we have the Selatan Philippines, and then Selatan Thailand, and then we have Aceh. I already mentioned this before, kan? GAM, Gerakan Aceh Merdeka. That is for sovereignty of Aceh, because Aceh historically they were different from Indonesia. They in fact helped Indonesia to fight the Dutch. That was an agreement that was signed by the Sultan of Aceh, that they are willing to help those the Indonesian government to seek independence, to go to war. But in the end, after getting the independence, they say that Aceh is part and parcel of Indonesia Raya. And then Malaysia, when we get our independence, they say uh, Malaysia is actually Indonesia's. And then we have Ganyang Malaysia. They send armies to attack us, which failed. you know. We have Selatan Thailand, we have PLO, yeah, Palestinian Patani Liberation Organization. So we have also Moro, Mindanao. So this group of people are just one example, some example that people can you cannot apply the law in order for you to rule a group of people who have already set of political structure or economic structure or culture. So you cannot come in just like what we are doing towards orang asli. So our intention is good. I don't know whether it's good or not, but because most of the time we abuse orang asli rights. Yeah, I went. I brought my student to the orang asli places, and then I have to sign declaration that I'm not going to interfere with their political mindset. You know, because we are from law, right? We know what is right, what is wrong. So when we were there, we have to sign in so many documents, and then when I sit down and discuss with the Tok Patin, yeah, the ketua of the tribe there. And he was complaining to me saying that the government has taken away the officers that is supposed to control or take care of them, took their land and give it to some Chinese farmers in order to cultivate. So they were like very unhappy, right? So you apply the law of the nation towards somebody that who doesn't want to be part and parcel of the law. They just want to live on their own. Just let them be, because to them, the life that we are having is full of negativity. So they just want to have a simple life. And so far, they have been living in a very nice manner. We pity them. I think they pity us.
Sure.
I agree with
Sure.
you too, because my neighborhood is actually built on a um orang asli's punya tempat. So before this neighborhood existed, orang asli is the first ones who's living here. But because of like the development right now, their perkampungan has become really small, and like, but I can see like it's a normal thing when they like go fishing at the near like forest. Ada
Yeah,
hutan simpan in my neighborhood. So yeah, I somewhat agree with you, like
yeah,
orang asli like marah juga. I have a friend like kat sekolah rendah dulu,
yeah.
orang asli like kat sekolah yang dekat kan. So yeah.
You see, you are approaching it in a normative manner, meaning you are aware of the situation because you are very near to the problem, then
Yeah,
you understand better.
mm-mm.
So for those yang tak pernah ada exposure to orang asli and things like that, we look from the perspective of positivist. Yeah. For example, Tagung Sagi, Tagung Basi. What was the name of the case? I can't remember the name in the land law.
Sagung Tassi, sir.
Agung Kesasi,
I
yeah.
think it's Sagung Tassi.
Yeah, that is the case, right? With respect to their land, right, taken over, and then we have the issue of RNA Dengkil. You know, RNA Dengkil. If you were to go there and then you see both sides is actually residing on the orang asli land. Why you have to take their land? You have so many RNA places that you can you can create. Why you have to do it there? That is the argument, right? And how, replacing land is not feasible because they want to. That is their ancestors' land. You know, they have roots in the land. So this
Sir,
happens all over the world. Yes, yes. Soalan.
Kita sebut sebab
Izzah.
apa, the abuse of orang asli rights, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And the power struggle. In regards to your article that you gave us, political system.
Yes.
In Finland, they have this Sami parliament
Yeah.
in Finland.
Sami.
For the power struggle in Sabah and Sarawak mostly,
Yes.
for their indigenous people parliament. Is it possible for us to make one for them, for what we call Dewan Rakyat Orang Asal maybe? Because in Dewan Negara, the representative for the native is very little, around 2 people, 3 people. And then our first MP from Orang Asal is the first time for around after 50, 60 years Merdeka, the first time from Barisan Nasional in Cameron Highland. Is it possible for us to make one?
It is possible, yes, it is possible. However, you must remember that power struggle of people who are in politics, they don't want to release power by acknowledging another parliament for different group of people. Eventually, those people in that parliament, say for example the tribal communities in Sabah and Sarawak, they start to realize that we know how to run our country, our place, our state. Then what will happen? There is a clash between the what they call it, the governmental political structure and the traditional method of administration. So these two is going to have a clash, and chances are, if you look around the world, they eventually translated into, can we have our own country? They might say, I think we deserve to have our rights to run our own country, our own nation, our own state. So that is something that the politician doesn't want. By giving people power, chances are people start to aware. You don't want people to be aware. We want people to sleep. Okay, we legal thinkers, we are looking at the from outside, and we want to understand what is actually happening.
So macam orang asal ni, most on Sabah Sarawak and some Senoi dekat Semenanjung ni macam tak ada harapan lah untuk rights mereka ni diangkat.
I can say that tak ada harapan because the political will is not really, orang kata, sincere. If the political will of the our nation is sincere enough, something concrete has to be done, other than penempatan baru orang asli, and trying to pull them out from the jungle is not enough to the extent that they are unable to survive. Kalau you it is not about taking them out. You have to maintain them and teach them and make them able to come up. They are like 20 years behind us. How do you bring them to us right now? What would be the effort? There is none of that effort being made. Okay, they are left. You go to any penempatan baru orang asli and look at the condition that they are staying. They are even worse. They might have Astro, they might have cars, they might have motorcycle, but their lifestyle is no much better, or even, I would say, even worse, because you force them to do something that they don't want. You don't equip them with all the things that they want. Okay, you want to, lagi satu, indoctrination. It's a fight between Christian and Muslim ideology. Whether to convert them to Christianity, worried about the church going into what they call it, this orang asli places, and then we send the religious officer, trying to convert. It's a political game. So what about their well-being? It is not about faith. Oh, just faith. You are, as a Muslim, you are a Christian, then therefore God will take care of you. Is it? What is your duty then as a politician who control the country? Itu yang kata takutlah kita jadi politician ni, you are going to be answered in the afterlife, days after, that your responsibility or your action that you have done. Yes.
Sure. Kalau kita tengok dekat US kan, dia punya orang asli dia ada, they can manage their own affairs kan, macam even border, orang asli pun dia ada border dia, dan US government nak masuk pun kena minta dengan the native punya government. They have their own affairs. Jadi nak kata dia orang tak maju, orang asli dekat US pun boleh kata maju juga seiring dengan pergerakan masyarakat dekat US tu. Jadi kalau aplikasi yang sama kita bawa dekat Malaysia, kita hormat tradisi mereka, agama mereka, adat mereka, kita bawa aplikasi tu ke sini, saya rasa dah mantap dah tu. Cuma yalah, apa pendapat kalau kita tengok aplikasi orang asli dekat US tu?
Denny, I have to disagree with you. Because the way I see it, they have given their punya rights kan to land, they call it native land, things like that. Yes, you have to get permission, but you look at the condition of economic status of those people, native, indigenous people, kita tengok tribal people, they are not much better off in terms of economic status. So banyak restriction yang dia orang apply. They macam ni lah, you allow certain people to have rights, tapi you don't let them enforce that rights. Okay, in terms of funding, in terms of development, in terms of a lot of things. I think we all have to investigate again the condition of the native of America. Dia pelan-pelan eroding tau. Trying to erode them, trying to eliminate these people and assimilate those people into the current because it's quite difficult to run a country, to have America, okay lah, they are big. If your country in a small manner, then you acknowledge certain people, it's going to be a tiring task, a tiring task, because there are so many things that is unresolved, especially food, especially wealth, distribution of wealth. Kalau kita tengok, by virtue of the law, distribution of wealth can happen from distribution of the law itself. Tapi tak jadi juga. You guys have to change something. You or 25 of you may in the next few years, also 10 years from now, you are in power, then you can make a change.
Sir.
Yes, Daniel.
Pada pendapat mana lagi penting antara dua tu? Untuk assimilate atau untuk kekal ke adat? Antara dua tu. Kalau have to choose.
I cannot say, because for me, I want us to go forward, right? But forward in a way in that is good for everyone. Tapi kalau I move forward, that ada yang tercicir, then kesian lah kan. But kalau that is to assimilate, tapi kalau let them be, then it's not fair when we were moving and then yet we don't care about them. So kita kena bagi dekat orang tu kot choice. As what you say, they decide what they want, and you have to give them a chance for them to tell you what they want. So betul lah you kata representative dalam senator kita berapa aja seorang ya ke orang asli.
Patutnya ramai lagi.
Patutnya ramai lagi lah kan. Because dia orang tak nak acknowledge. Because kalau acknowledge, then you have to you know what happen kan. Because once you give acknowledgement, you are acknowledging their rights. Then by acknowledging their rights, then the power struggle start lah. Everyone wants to have their own domain. Orang yang duduk dekat atas tu, dalam senator tu pun selfish juga. They are representing their group of interest, but I don't think many of them are doing the job. Because they are kalau lah you masuk pergi dekat dalam satu ni this is where they call political control. So whereby you seorang masuk and then you are being controlled by the majority. Ada satu dalam YouTube test, scientific test that has been conducted. Dia orang masuk dalam satu bilik, semua orang tu adalah member of the test, and then seorang sahaja the apa kata the person that is being tested, right? So semua orang what happened to them is dia orang buka baju, you know, yang lelaki lah, yang dia buka baju. Yang seorang ni dia orang nak tengok macam mana respon this particular person. Eventually the strong will dia tak akan buka baju, tapi kalau yang you are lesser will, you akan start buka baju juga. You ikut dengan semua orang. So if you have a representative from this so-called orang asli, you must make sure that they are able to stand tough against the system in order to benefit your tribe lah, or your clan or whatever it is. Okay, guys, soalan? A good discussion. Daniel, nampak are you okay?
Yeah. Okay.
We should be having more discussion of this, but I think it's not fair for the rest yang tak sabar ada kelas pun mungkin. So I think we end the session today. We will continue with the tutorial, and tutorial we'll be looking at the tribe and what they call it, chiefdom. I want examples to be given for groups. Yeah, we have so many groups, right? How many groups do we have? 5. So 5 group. At least ada 5 ni kita buat what they call it, exercise. Sekejap lagi ya. Thank you guys for coming to class. Assalamualaikum. Take care.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir. Stay safe, sir. Take care.
Thank you, sir.
Make sure you go out from the ni ya. Kita dia apa orang kata? Dia prolong the recording.